Hey guys. Say hi. In front of. Hi. So now I'm starting to sew, or preparations to sew, because I know we have to do some interfacing. So the first direction is basically what I'm doing is I think it's the inner curve, right, that I do? Of each piece, I have to make is it a basting stitch or just a normal one?
Slightly longer than normal, but not quite a basting.
So it's going to be permanent?
As long as it doesn't show through on the finished project, yes.
Okay. So basically I need to make a stitch all along this curve here, of this piece at least, so that when I'm sewing this piece to the piece that it goes to, it's not going to stretch and warp and not be able to fit by the end. Oh, let me show you guys my new sewing machine.
It's so much better than mine.
It's a present from my mommy. And it's so awesome. It's computerized. So basically you can punch in the numbers for all of these different stitches into here. And it'll automatically, when you push on the pedal, it'll automatically do that stitch for you, which is awesome. Especially for when you want to do decorative stitching. I hate that camera can't zoom while it's filming.
Yeah, slightly older model.
You can film before, you can zoom before you start filming, but...
See, it doesn't sound like a machine gun, people!
Yeah, this one sounds much better.
We can sew at night without worrying about people banging on the walls. And wasn't that quick?
Haha.
Last front page.
Make sure it's not blurry.
It's not.
Okay.
Last front facing. What she just did back there is there's actually a thread cutter built into the back of the machine arm. So she just cut her thread on that built-in.
All three then. All four, actually. Okay. We just caught your meow.
Love the horns.
So, what I'm doing right now is, I know I said I wasn't going to film this, but I wanted to show you. So I have this is the front and side front pieces. I have it pinned together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw out the line, because when you're sewing a garment, you're not just sewing whatever, like wherever. There has to be a certain seam allowance. So basically what that means is how do I explain a seam allowance?
The seam allowance is the space between the edge of the fabric and the actual seam that will ensure that the garment is strong and thin.
Right. Which they give you a base seam allowance, which means you can alter it if you want to.
But that's where it starts.
But that's where it starts. Yeah, that's like the minimum or maximum? Minimum.
That's the average.
The average, right? Because you can make it bigger or smaller depending on if you need to adjust it for your size or whatever.
This seam allowance is life-saving in the case where you're making a cosplay and you realize, ooh, I didn't cut this one seat part right, so it's 1/4 of an inch too tight. You can just cut into your seam allowance a little bit. It'll still be a perfectly fine garment, but it will also fit.
Yes, exactly. So you don't have to follow the seam allowance to a T, but it's best to start with it, just so you can see how well it's going to work for you, and base the rest from there. So we're just going to use the seam allowance, and usually, majority of the time, the seam allowance is 3/4 of an inch.
On some occasions it's
If it's not, it'll tell you.
Yeah. Hems are rarely ever 3/4 of an inch.
So if a garment doesn't say, like if you're sewing the side to the side front and it doesn't say the seam allowance, just assume it's 3/4 of an inch. So what I'm going to do for the seam allowance, where did my chalk go? So I have not sewing chalk, marking chalk, which is specifically for fabric, and it's white and it wipes off really, really easily. which means you have to be careful to not wipe off your line. But what I'm going to be doing is measuring the seam allowance on the edge of this piece. So basically I'm going to go like this, and the width of this measuring tape is 3/4 of an inch, which is awesome because it makes it so much easier. So I'm just going to go like this throughout down the whole seam, and I'm going to just mark right under here with the white chalk so that I can follow that line when I'm sewing, because it's so much easier for me to see it that way. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. And you guys have seen me do this. If you've seen my Katetsu watch tutorial, you know that's what I did for that one too. So it's basically the same thing. So if you want to see me do it in more detail, go watch that. Okay, so I just finished doing the line, well, series of lines, as you can see here. So what I'm going to do now is sew. And perhaps you might be able to see if I move the camera down, or you might just see the sewing machine. Okay, so I found a spot so you guys can kind of see the sewing process. So what I like to do with my fabric is I like to pin it and put the line on it to where I don't have all of the excess fabric on the inside of the machine, because that tends to clog it. Like it tends to like be really, it tends to be harder to work with that way, if you know what I mean. I don't think you do, but yeah. That's what happened. My pedal got unplugged. I was like, why isn't it working? I was freaking out just now for a second. Now I am. Tea for you. I'll put it here since it's hot. How's it going?
I'm done with the first seam.
Woo! Okay, just interluding really quick. We have a binding shirt. We got the wrong size for Naru. And now it's too late to send it back because she couldn't find the email and it's been over 30 days. So it's brand new, never been worn, it's only been tried on. It's a size medium in the tri-top from Underworks. They'll have the sizing chart on the Underworks website if you want to know what it is. But yeah, it's a binding shirt, obviously, and it's too small for Naru. If anyone would like to buy this, I'm selling it for $30. Which that includes shipping, so it's free shipping, $30 including shipping to anywhere in the United States. So if you would like to purchase this, please let me know in the comments or on my Facebook, which is Xasus Oren, Xasusoren. I'll also link that down below too. So yeah, if you want this, $30 including shipping to anywhere in the US, please let me know. So yay, just more of what I just did. So.
And I just did. I'll take my nice tea.
Oh, do we want to show them the whole piece?
Are we sure they can see it in this light?
Well, no, just like how it's sewn together. Like the piece that's sewn.
Alright. So, this is the front side of it. Don't know if you can see or not, but the stay station that's holding the remainder of the seam down is right here, next to the bigger seam that you certainly can see. It's not decorative, it just holds the
We're
seam.
just making it so just holds together nicely.
Yeah, it
And
holds together nicely, and it'll add a little bit of dimension to the coat, because in anime it's just, in anime, you know, you can't tell. They don't go into insane detail like that unless, you know,
so this is the front of it. Whoops.
You need help.
Yeah, I do.
That's the up front.
So we just basically made it into one big piece.
And here's the back.
Alright, so I wanted to show off my Maka wig that I styled myself.
She did. It was awesome.
So
It is awesome.
It's a kind of complicated method, but oh, I don't remember her name, but I looked this up. I looked this method up on how to do pigtails with a normal wig on YouTube, and it's a really good tutorial. And I'm sure if you look up, you know, how to make pigtails on a wig, you will find that tutorial, and it's really, really good. And
link in description or no?
I don't remember her video. It's not like perfect because it's not like meant to be pigtails, but it's good for what I needed it for. So yay! Did you finish that?
I'm tying it.
Woo.
I'm done.
Thank you. Next thing we're doing for this back.
It's not at all written, but it'll make it look better.
Yeah, and if there's things you think will make your costume better, do it. You know, you don't have to, you can alter from the directions. Use the directions as a guideline. Don't think you have to follow them step by, like, to the letter.
Yeah, it's like the Pirate's Code. They'll get the reference.
I don't get the reference.
What it's designed to do is to join two folded bits of fabric together and flatten them. So, since, where'd my petal go? There it is. I kicked it off to the side.
So we're sewing the center.
Yeah, we're sewing the center flat and down.
Just so because we need to sew something on top of this seam.
Yes, we do. That's why I added the fish comment, just in case.
Okay. So, we've finished doing the back and everything. So now I'm taking the yoke, which is, if I had a jacket that actually had a yoke, I'd explain to you and show you what it means.
Right.
I'll move the foot out of the way.
Alright, so, the yoke is this piece right here. It holds the fabric in place across the shoulders, important in men's clothing since you really got bulky shoulders and arm muscles and stuff.
And this pattern requires shoulder pads.
So, yeah, this will help with that. Also, depending on how the yoke is cut, it may be cut on the bias, they're adding strength, but this was not.
I'm so confused at that noise you just made.
I'm still clearing out my lungs.
She tried to be a fish and swim in her tea. I want to show them that you're wearing...
I honestly haven't taken it off except to shower and wash my hands.
The ring is Kotetsu's wedding ring.
It feels right. Why do
it
men?
It feels so good.
Why?
It's so comfortable. Say bye, Oji-san.